Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to be doing a really quick kind of like talking video for you guys, and the topic that I wanted to talk about is effective co-parenting. Basically I'm just going to tell you guys what I've been through when it comes to co-parenting, as well as some things that I think can help people learn, I guess, to co-parent better. So yeah, I have two beautiful baby girls, as everybody that's watching this probably knows, and they have different dads, so I kind of have two completely different experiences so far when it comes to co-parenting. J. Marie's dad and I, we were together after having J. Marie, and we were together, I don't know, maybe 2 months after, and then we broke up and I made the choice to move to North Carolina. Me and J. Marie lived in North Carolina for a year, a little over a year, maybe a month or two, over a year, and then moved back here. While we were in North Carolina, living there, we came down to visit here in Kentucky, Martavius, so that he could see J. Marie maybe once a month, once every 5 weeks or so. So really, while I was in North Carolina, I was so fresh from the breakup from him. Basically, us not even being in the same state together made it very easy for me to get past our relationship and past the whole situation of it all, because we really did not talk, or we really had no reason to talk at all, and we weren't even seeing each other very often, with me living there. So I think that kind of made it easier for me to move on from that situation. I know that not everybody, that's going to be what you're going to be able to do, or what you should do, or what you feel like you should do, or whatever. But that's just how that happened. So we literally didn't talk about anything besides J. Marie. So it was easy to get over him in that aspect, over the relationship. Which I think helped contribute to making our co-parenting a little bit better, or easier, I guess I would say, to kind of slide into. Really the only arguments that we did have was over child support, or the fact that her and I were gone, or him wanting to see her, or just stuff like that. But I mean, that didn't really happen very often, just because I was in another state, so if we started arguing, I just wouldn't respond, or if I was arguing, he just wouldn't respond, and that's how it went. So once I moved back here, we were basically, it had been a year and some change, so we had completely moved on from that situation, and jumped right into, kind of more like a co-parenting thing. What I think is important is to do your best to include the parents, or the other parent, not only in the bigger things, but the smaller things as well. I think that helps your communication get better. It lets them know that you value them as your co-parents. So I mean, I would even call him if J. Marie did something at daycare, or moved to a different class at daycare, or if she did something really super funny, I would try and include him in some of that stuff. I wasn't texting him every day or anything, but I would try and include him in some of that stuff, so that, we were communicating about not just the boring stuff, but that he knew that, I wanted him to be involved, and I was happy that he was involved even in littler stuff. We gradually gave him more and more time with J. Marie as he could handle it. Now he gets her for a few hours twice a week, as well as every other weekend, from Friday to Sunday, whenever. We're really super flexible with each other because we worked so much on our communication. So, if he can't get her one day and he has to kind of tell me short notice, I'm not usually upset about it. And if I need him to get her any extra, or I need to switch days or whatever, he's always super flexible with me with that. So that's good. Also, we've made it a point to not down the other parent. If J. Marie is over my house and Martavius had done something, I mean, I'm not saying our relationship is perfect by any means, but if Martavius had done something didn't get J. Marie when he was supposed to, or something like that, I don't voice that when she's around, because she picks up so much information, and I don't ever want her to grow up and try and kind of pin us against each other. kind of like, oh, well, mommy lets me do this, oh, well, mommy lets me do that, or oh, mommy said this, daddy said that, while she's at either one's house. So, you know, I try not to like badmouth him at all when she's around or anything like that, and I'm sure that he does the same. Also, we try and communicate. We've had a couple like longer conversations about what it is that we do at our houses, and trying to like, I would say, kind of like compare notes or whatever as to what it is that we do at our respective houses when it comes to J. Marie, when it comes to like her schedule and her rules and guidelines, and how we parent or enforce you know, rules and stuff like that with her. I used to like really stress the schedule that I had at my house when it came to J. Marie, and him keeping it the same when she was with him, just because I try and coordinate my schedule the same as the schedule that they have at daycare when it comes to eating times, sleeping times, napping times, just so that it's not as big of a transition for them to go from a whole week of one thing, a whole weekend of another thing, a whole weekend of one thing, a whole week of another thing. So at my house, me personally, I try and keep it the same, as much the same as I can. And I used to stress that like really big to Martavius, that like he had to keep it the same too. And then finally I was just like, you know what? It's really not that big of a deal. It's 3 days out of the week, if it's a full weekend, that maybe her schedule is a little different, and she's just gonna have to learn to adapt to that. So I don't stress him about that anymore. I know that she has a later bedtime there. She doesn't really have any like scheduled eating times there. She just kind of eats when, you know, meal's ready or whatever. I know that she goes to bed later. Sometimes he doesn't have her take a nap and stuff like that. And me, I'm like, I don't even know how you don't have her take a nap every day. Like, I personally cannot deal with J. Marie if she doesn't have a nap. But, you know, hey, that's what works for them. And, I just make sure that I watch her behavior, or, you know, how tired and stuff she is when she gets back to me, because she does come back to me on Sundays. Sometimes if I realize that she's like really, like, I feel like once she gets back to my house, it's kind of like a letdown thing, and I can tell if, you know, she's gonna be fine to go straight to daycare the next day, or if she needs some extra sleep, and I'll, you know, do that accordingly. So Sundays usually I have reserved as like a sleeping day, or more of like a calm down, like whatever day, from her getting back from having a bunch of fun at her dad's house all weekend. So yeah, I decided just not to stress that anymore. I think that there's more important things that you need to spend your energy and your communication on, making sure that you're on the same page with your co-parent about, like, you know, the rules and how you want her raised, and, you know, like what we want her to know that she can and cannot do, and how to act and stuff like that, and make sure that all of that is on the same page at both houses, than to spend time complaining and bitching about her being on a certain schedule. So I just let him, when it comes to that stuff, do what he's gonna do, and let me know, you know, just when you return her, let me know if she had dinner or not, or if she had lunch, or whatever time it is. And thanks, I'll see you in a couple days. So that's really good. But I mean, you know, I've had 3 years of experience now, coming up on 4, of being a co-parent with Martavius. So since then, we've grown a whole lot. We've come a long way. When I first moved, we didn't barely talk at all. He basically knew nothing about what was going on unless he texted. And now he is one of my very best friends. I love him so much. And I know that not only does he respect my decisions as a co-parent, and trust me to, you know, parent J. Marie the right way. And sometimes if I like have to ask him or correct him, or ask him to do something differently, he kind of like, you know, trusts my decisions, and I trust his as well, and we work together for, I guess, a common goal. But besides that, I also know that I can count on him for other things. He helped me actually quite a bit when I was pregnant with Italy. Like if I needed some extra sleep, or I had some stuff going on, he would get J. Marie a lot extra, and doesn't really make sense, a lot extra. But I mean, he would get J. Marie more, or, you know, be even more lenient. Or sometimes I had been like in bed all day, wasn't feeling well, and he would call, make sure that I was okay before he dropped J. Marie off. Sometimes he would bring me food when he was dropping J. Marie off, so I didn't have to cook and stuff like that. So he's really one of my closest friends that not my closest friends, but he's one of the people that I know that I can count on for a lot of different stuff, which is very helpful. Also, my co-parenting relationship with Italy's dad is slowly improving and changing. We have gotten to a place where we respect each other more. We are trying to get past a lot of the damage that has been done to our relationship over the past year. I think the hardest thing when it comes to that is just that we did not close the relationship the way that it should have, or that it could have been closed, I guess, before jumping into this whole co-parenting thing. So that just caused a lot of blurred lines when it came to us. I'm not going to go into detail, I guess, of that right now. Just I don't know, I hope you guys are kind of getting what I'm saying, but if I do want to go into detail on that, that'll be like a completely separate video. But I think that just caused a lot of blurred lines and hurt on both of our parts, and that it's taken a very long time to filter some of that stuff out when it comes to our co-parenting relationship. So things are getting better. We're communicating a lot better. I'm able to text him when Italy's with him. He's getting more time with Italy. He texts me when Italy's with me, and we see what she's doing. We talk on a regular basis about Italy, and I know that he is doing everything that he can to be the best dad that he can be, and that's really all that I can ask of him. So yeah, we're in a really good place right now. So we'll see. We're just trying to figure out, you know, what steps it is that we want to take next when it comes to everything. But I think that kind of plays into one of my don'ts when it comes to co-parenting, or one of the things that I've learned that is like not healthy and not okay when you're trying to like better your co-parenting relationship, is you can't co-parent with someone. It's like you can't be friends with someone that you're still in love with. You can't co-parent with someone that you still have some sort of relationship with, because there's just too many blurred lines and unresolved emotions and feelings and stuff that can play negatively into your co-parenting relationship and cause you guys to veer off a lot more when it comes to like conversation and dealing with one another. Veer off into things that don't directly have to deal with co-parenting or your child or something like that. So I think that that's one of my main don'ts that I've learned so far. But I think that the most important thing is communication, learning to respect each other, keeping each other tuned in, even to the little things. Making sure that every encounter that you have around your child, regardless of whatever situation it is that you've been dealing with behind the scenes with that person, is a positive one, is a cordial one, just so that your child never thinks that they can play the two of you together, or the two of you against each other, because your kid needs to know that at the end of the day, you two forever are going to be a team into making your child into the best person that they can be. And yeah, so I'm trying to think if I have any other crazy tips for you guys. I see my battery down here is like, I'm dying. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell what I have experienced learning to be a co-parent and what I think is important so far. Also, you know, no co-parenting relationship is perfect. You're always going to have arguments. You're always going to love that person, but it's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes it's going to be rough. Sometimes guys are going to argue. You just have to keep your eye on the prize, keep your eye on what's important, and, you know, figure out whatever it is that you can do, or whatever it is that you can compromise on, I guess, to keep things the way that they are, or keep your relationship the way that it is, because it's a lot easier when you can co-parent with the person that you're supposed to co-parent with, and not with like a bunch of outside sources, or have to go through this person, through that person, to tell them this, to tell them that, blah blah blah. So yeah, it's a blessing. I am blessed with two great fathers for my children. They're both very, very, very much willing to do whatever it is that they have to do and wanting to do whatever it is that they have to do to be great parents, great fathers for their children, as well as great co-parents when it comes to being on the same team with me. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have any other questions. I'm going to be having an update video for you guys that might include some of this stuff in it. I know that I've mentioned that Patrick especially has been getting more time with Italy. I'm going to be updating you guys on that, as well as, you know, school and all the other usual stuff. I just want to get to that towards like the end of the month of vlogust, so that, you know, I'm really like updating you guys on everything. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Also, if you have any video requests, what the heck, it is the 10th and I have like 20 more days of videos to do. So if you guys have any requests, please leave them down below, and be sure to follow me on social media, and I will leave those links down below as well, and I'll leave everything down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
My baby dad, my baby daddy, baby daddy. Let's see. Some baby dad situations. Let's see. See, so here's some text between me and Martavius, right? I got Jay's suit if you need it. Then I called him. He said that she's napping. And then I was just like, oh, okay, I miss her. I was like, y'all have fun. You know, we leave Tuesday morning until Saturday. Okay. And then let's see. Yesterday I asked him when did Jay Marie eat last, and he said she had McDonald's. I guess that didn't really answer my question. I made her eat dinner anyways. So I don't know if she ate dinner right before she had, but she ate it again. I sent him a cute little picture of our little Muffy Tough. And I'm actually getting ready to text him because the daycare called me and said that Jay Marie moved to the preschool classroom today. Like, what in the world? I cannot believe it. She's so big. I mean, even before I buy shoes sometimes, I'm like, hey, do you like these better? Or do you like these better? Which ones? Before I spend all our monies on these shoes. So, yeah. You know, some fun stuff, some positive stuff mixed in with any little tidbit arguments that we have, you know? Because ain't nobody perfect. I used to be like, me and my friends, we used to be like, when we would talk about the baby dad thing, we'd be like, baby daddy. And we'd say it like that until Jay Marie started saying, baby daddy. And then she'd say, Martavius. Like, that's how I had to stop saying it, because it's like, girl, you can't go around saying that. You can't go around saying baby daddy. Or like, if I was in the car and I'd be like, I gotta call Martavius. And she'd be in the back of the car and she'd be like, baby daddy. I was just like, oh man, I've gotta get her together, y'all.